question from someone on fructose. There's a lot of bad hype out there on fructose and how it's processed by the liver and turned into fat and triglycerides and on and on and on. And they wanted to know, because you recommend utilizing a lot of fruits and tropical fruits, and how come you recommend really utilizing fruits when a lot of people are saying that fructose in excess is actually a little bit dangerous?
The ideal amount of fructose seems to be maybe a third as much as glucose, and so a person can eat a fair amount of starch if they have glucose along with it. But what the fructose does in the cell is to raise the metabolic rate, increase the production of carbon dioxide, among other things, and catalyze the ability to burn glucose wherever the glucose came from, sucrose or starch. So it's a catalyst that increases cell activity in very constructive ways. And for example, there have been experiments. One of them compared either sugar or a Coke-type drink. Coca-Cola, I think, was what they used, and found that it improved calcium assimilation, increased their metabolic rate, decreased obesity. I think it was something like a 50% increase in their ability to burn calories when they had a sucrose-based diet rather than a starch-based diet. And a couple of other experiments showed that the calcium assimilation and retention was better, and in a vitamin D deficient experiment, animals on a starch-based diet had very weak bones that you would expect from the vitamin D deficient diet, but the ones which had sucrose, despite the vitamin D deficiency, they built strong bones because of that effect on calcium assimilation. And that calcium sparing effect of sucrose or fructose is that it's that metabolic stimulating effect which imitates the active thyroid hormone, which produces carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide is involved in the way we handle calcium and sodium, both in the kidneys and in the cell, keeping calcium out of the cells where it shouldn't be and putting it in the bones where it should be. So you reduce your need for vitamin D, which is it's a very important nutrient in all kinds of systems, but you decrease your dependency on that if you shift your calories away from starch to some extent, at least, towards sucrose and or fructose. But it's very hard to find a natural source of fructose. It's almost always in balance with glucose.
Right. Great. Thanks for that.